Welcome back to another instalment of New Zealand's Bird of the Week, where in this video I will be talking about the red-crowned parakeets, small emerald green parrots that occupy a variety of different habitats. I hope you enjoy. Red-crowned parakeets are among New Zealand's most charismatic of native birds, having distinct calls and chatters that echo around New Zealand's forest canopies, being quite a standout. Known also by their Maori name of kakariki, they are quite versatile habitat-wise, being found in areas ranging from rainforest to tussock and open scrubland. They mainly eat the seeds of many of these plants, as well as varying fruits, leaves, and invertebrates. While they do seem quite erratic and clumsy in their flights when seen through either video or directly in person, they are actually pretty adept flyers, able to cross expanses of open ocean in excess of 100 kilometers, which means that two offshore subspecies in the Chatham and Kermadec Islands have been able to diversify because of their curiosity and capacity for travel. Where these birds overlap with other parakeets, it can be sometimes hard to tell them apart, especially from a distance. The best way to distinguish them is by their crown coloration, although there are subtle differences to be noted, like the plumage tone, the width and intensity of the blue on their wings, as well as the slight differences in their calls. As an example, red-crowned parakeets have a lower pitched call than that of the yellow-crowned birds, with them also being larger and also preferring to inhabit more open spaces. This has led to them being more vulnerable to introduced mammals though, as these animals prefer these environments to the more remote and dense forests that their other relatives are more common in, and so have declined quite heavily since they also spend a good deal of time on the ground. While remaining very common on offshore islands and having a generally wide range, they are almost entirely absent from the two main islands, with the main exception being in Wellington after their introduction and subsequent spread from Zealandia. Breeding wise, they prefer to nest in trunks and or burrows, and can lay up to 7 white eggs, which are incubators for around 20 days. They can breed year round, which has helped them keep up decent population numbers where they remain, though their preferred cavity nests also do make them more vulnerable to introduced mammals, which can better access and also kill parents incubating on the nests given they don't often have an escape route should one enter. Interestingly enough, red-crowned parakeets can often be seen in captivity in New Zealand and overseas, particularly in Australia, as they're the only native bird species able to be held and bred in captivity, requiring a permit from the Department of Conservation to do so. Over time, some colour mutations have occurred through different genetic mixings, with yellow and cyan birds being known of, given said genetic mixing. A ban on these captive birds being released back into the wild has been enacted as to protect the remaining wild birds. And with that, I thank you for watching this instalment of New Zealand's Bird of the Week. For next time, well, there isn't actually a next bird. Given how the series has been going on now since mid-2018, I've now covered every living and recently extinct bird species that either calls or calls New Zealand home, that is except for the species of kiwi. However, instead of putting it to a vote like I have done for all the other birds, I've decided instead to cover all of the species of kiwi together in one video for when the channel hits the milestone of 100,000 subscribers. It may seem like a ways off, but it does give both the chance for me to take a bit of a break from New Zealand bird content, while also being a goal for you guys either watching now or in the future to eventually reach, since it is good to set these kind of goals for engagement. Until then, the broad-billed prion and sooty shearwater await in the polls, so be sure to vote for one of those two in the community tab after you're done watching this video. With that, I'll see you next time, whenever that may be.